Oh, hello. I am Sally, and I'm going to talk to you today about being an LVAD patient. The first thing that you need to know about being an LVAD patient is that everything in your life is going to be more inconvenient. That's the bad news. And when I say everything, I mean everything from getting out of bed, using the restroom, brushing your teeth, your housework, taking care of your pets, and eating. The good news is, and this is for the ladies who are LVAD patients, you need to find something a little bit fun about being an LVAD patient, and I believe I've done that, and that is the reason I'm going to make this presentation to you today. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about this binder, which is what they undoubtedly gave you or will give you in the hospital to help explain to you what it's going to be like to be an LVAD patient. All right, when I was in the hospital, after I had been there a few days, they wanted to get me up, moving around, to prove that I could actually do that before they would discharge me. That is when I learned for the first time just exactly how heavy the LVAD equipment is. They had told me about this, and they even had let me look at it and hold it, but truthfully, it is nothing compared to when you actually have it on and you're attempting to walk around with it. This is a picture of the man in the binder wearing his LVAD equipment. And if you notice, he was wearing a harness, and I'm going to put that on here in a second. And it looks like his arms are natural at his side, and he has no difficulty standing straight with all that weight, and everything is just hunky-dory. I'm going to sit here and put on this harness now. I am only 5 feet 3 inches tall, and apparently the man in the binder is a tall man, and he was handling it quite well. You can see that this goes all the way from my armpits all the way down to my waist, and it is very cumbersome. My arms stick clear out here, and I tell my family I look like a chicken. So this is actually something that was really difficult for me to accept, that I would have to wear this harness and look like a chicken. Because, when you're in the hospital and you don't know what it's going to be like, you just presume that whatever is in the binder and how it is depicted in the binder is what is going to be the easiest and most natural for you. I do recommend wearing the harness when they first get you out of bed. And the reason for that is that my nurses just put the strap over my shoulder, the crossbody purse, and had me get up. It weighs about 7 pounds. And I was so weak, I could barely stand myself, let alone stand with 7 pounds hanging on my shoulder and digging into my neck. When you're in the hospital, do demand that they put on this harness and have you walk around with the harness. And I do think that that will distribute the weight evenly, and it will be easiest for you when you're in that weak and recovering state. After that, however, you're not going to want to wear this thing. And what I wear now is a purse. It's just a purse. And that's what I'm going to show you is how I've modified this purse. The reason that I like to wear a purse so much is because I can carry the weight around my waist, and all the weight is pulling on my waist. The VAD purse weighs about 7 pounds is what they told me in the hospital. And as a short woman, as I explained to you earlier, I am actually able to handle it. You can also put this crossbody strap over your body here and transfer 1 or 2 pounds onto the strap, which makes the purse weigh what a normal purse would weigh, and then the extra 5 pounds is carried around your waist. And as you can see, I am wearing a belt, and the belt is attached to the purse, and the weight hangs from the belt. And what I want to explain to you today is how I modified this purse to make it into what I call a VAD purse. And in the hospital, getting back to the hospital, they're not going to explain to you about carrying the weight on this belt around your waist. The reason that they're not is because you have a drive line coming out of you. You also have your incision. You have 3 drainage lines coming out of you. You've got 10 staple marks coming out of here. They don't want you to have this belt on when you're in the hospital, so they don't even bother to tell you about it. And you're going to have to find this out on your own or from this video. All right, this purse I happen to have purchased at Walmart. The reason I purchased it at Walmart is because I was hoping to get something that wasn't too expensive, because I am going to alter it and cut it from the back, and you might want to get something from Walmart or Penny's or the Goodwill. I went to the Goodwill and I found all sorts of things there. They have a huge selection, a huge, wonderful selection. And as you can see, I have put a zipper in the back of this purse. And when you open it up, you can actually put your equipment into the purse. Here is my controller, and here are 2 of my batteries. I like to have the zipper in the back so that the equipment can be inserted through the back instead of over the top, because otherwise you'll have these cords showing as the purse hangs down from your shoulder. And then you can just zipper that up and it looks very neat. Now this zipper happens to be a 7-inch zipper. And that is what I have deemed to be the perfect length, because you will go to the fabric store and you will discover that you can buy a zipper in all sorts of lengths, and you might find that you want a longer one if your purse happens to be bigger or so forth. 7 inches is really the perfect length for inserting all of this equipment. On this particular purse, I love this style. There's actually a compartment in the front which is completely separate. So I have my LVAD equipment in the back, and I have my purse contents in the front. And you can see here I have a lipstick and a comb and my cell phone, a couple of credit cards. And I put it all in a plastic bag so that you can just pull it out very quickly, because you know, if you want to switch from purse to purse, you just pull it out and put it into the next purse, and you know that you've got all of it. You don't have to dig in here and take items out one by one. At the top of this purse, I have what I call the channel or the chamber. You put your belt through that, and then you put it around your waist. And that's what I was talking about earlier by having the weight of the purse on your waist. This should be sewn on at the very top of the purse, and that is because as you hang the purse on the thing, you don't want it down here, because your purse will fall down, and I will demonstrate that in a little bit using a different purse. This belt is something that was provided to me by my manufacturer, and I like to have one belt for every purse. So I like to make more of these. These are really easy to make, and you can make these things because these straps are also something that you can purchase easily at the fabric store. These clips are called parachute clips. It's important to know what they are called, because when you go in there, you're going to have to ask for these. You can never find this sort of thing without being pointed in the right direction. You can also just use a regular belt, and sometimes that might be more convenient because they're a little bit stiffer and they're easier to weave through the chamber. Next, I put a zipper in my shirt. And so then you see here, you can bring the drive line right out of your body and right into the purse. Zipper it right down. Then you can take your belt, and then I have made 2 other eye holes in the belt. You put one through here, one through here, and you put this around your body, and you're in business. Now, you know, what you can also do is just put the belt on the outside of your shirt. But it's not exactly what I call a haute couture. Nobody is wearing a belt around their sweatshirt on the outside. So this looks natural and neat, and that's what I'm going for, something that looks natural and neat. This makes me look like I'm just any old shopper or any old friend out on the town. So your next question might be, is all of this necessary, all of this sewing and all of this alteration? Actually, I'm hoping that that's what you will find to be the fun part of being a VAD patient. And actually, when you get this all done and you're all ready to go, you're going to look, just like I mentioned before, a natural friend, a natural shopper out in the mall and so forth. And the reason that's important is that if you look natural and relaxed, then your friends will be natural and relaxed around you, and they won't fuss over you and ask you how you're feeling and are you about to flop over dead and so forth. And you know, you want them to relax so that you can relax, and you can also get on to other conversations beside your health. And you know, this VAD is very inconvenient, as I mentioned. However, you know, I have a friend in a wheelchair, and she can't really conceal it this easy way. I have a neighbor who has to wear oxygen, and he has to have something in his nose. And then I had another friend who actually passed away recently, and she had to have dialysis, and she spent her entire life over in some clinic. So really, just have fun with this, make this purse, and go out shopping. Okay, now I'm going to show you some other things that I have done just to kind of reiterate what we've covered so far. This is the first purse I bought, and again I bought it at Walmart. And again I put a 7-inch zipper in the back. Here on this particular purse I'm using a regular belt versus one of the belts provided by the manufacturer. It works just as well. When you have these buckles that sometimes shows in the front of your garment there, so that's why maybe those parachute clips are preferred, but for the most part, especially with a sweatshirt, it's not necessary. This is an example of something I did wrong. I did put this channel a little bit lower. As you can see, it's not right up at the zipper, and as you can see then when you hold it up, and I'm holding it up here, you can see that it hangs from the channel and it's not at the top of the purse. So this was my first attempt, and I'm telling you this so that you won't make this same mistake. This specific purse has leather tabs on it, and one of the things that I wanted to choose was a fabric purse because I thought it could be put through the washing machine. You know, you're wearing these purses day and night, unlike, you know, when you're just going out shopping or to the store and you put your purse down. This is with you at all times, and it does get dirty. And you are going to want something that you can wash. And I have put this through the wash a couple of times. It did survive, but for the most part, I do think that you need to scrub this sort of thing down by hand. Okay, the next purse I'm going to show you is something I made from scratch. This is nothing that I altered. I actually made this from a pattern. It's McCall's Fashion Accessories M4400. And I go out of my way to tell you about this because this purse is by far the most comfortable purse I have to wear, including the purse that was given to me by the manufacturer. And I will stand up and show you why this is so comfortable. These straps are just really extra wide, and as you can see, they kind of arc out to the left here, and they pull straight down instead of just straight over to the side. And I put this on, and geez, I can wear this all day and night. So I just wanted to point this out. A friend of mine showed me how to make these crazy fabric roses, and I got a little carried away. You don't need to put fabric roses on the front. This should be fully washable. This is a cotton twill. The next purse I would like to show you is this crazy looking thing that I got at the Goodwill. And you're obviously not going to find this. This is also homemade by somebody. They took a pair of pants and put the pockets of the pants in the front and the back. It's completely lined. It has 2 chambers. I was over at the Goodwill and I saw this, and I saw this crazy thing, and it cost $4, and I snapped it up and said sold. The reason that I like this purse so much is because I have not altered it at all. I just do wear it only at the house and only for doing housework. And this needs to be washed every single time I wear it because I do this for all of my dishes, cleaning house, getting down on the ground, doing gardening. And you do want to have something that is fully machine washable. And that's what this is. So hopefully you can find something like this. I wanted to mention about doing housework. We're on the subject of housework now. So much of housework involves bending forward. You're bending forward to load the dishwasher. You're bending forward to load the washing machine and picking things up off the floor, picking up your pets, small pets. As you do that, the purse is going to fall to the front. It's going to be extremely irritating. I actually recommend that you buy an apron, put the apron on, tie the apron string around the back strap before you tie it around your back, and that will hold the purse in place where you want. So even when you're bending forward, the purse is not going to fall forward. And that's something, you may already have an apron, it's something that will already work for that. The next subject that we're going to go on to is the controller itself. The controller is very, very hot. At night, you're going to be plugged into your power source, and the only thing that you're going to actually be wearing is your controller, and it is so hot that it'll wake you up out of a sound sleep. So you do need some sort of little container to put your power source in so that it is not so hot when it bumps against your skin. This equipment really draws a lot of juice. I was going to make something out of a quilt fabric. I went through my drawers and I was cleaning out my drawers, and I did happen to find this little satchel that I probably had for 30 years, and I modified it and I put it in this, and it works really well. The next purse I want to show you is a leather purse, because you might say, okay, here are all these fabric purses. What about when I would actually like to be wearing a real leather purse? You know, you will be very pleased to go over and shop for a leather purse. Very many of them have the long adjustable strap, and very many of them have a zipper in the back that's already in the back. There's no alterations that you need to make. When you open the back zipper, you'll find yourself in one of the chambers inside, and you might have to make a slit in the lining, which is what I've done here, and it's best if you hem that off. But really, that works best. You might not want to wear a leather purse around the house. It's pretty heavy. What about swimming? You've been told not to go swimming, and that's actually just fine, but you know, that doesn't mean you can't put on your bathing suit and a big floppy hat and go out on the Lido deck at your cruise. I wanted to show you that this is my suit, and it is a two-piece suit, and so I didn't have to make holes in it the way I did in the rest of my garments. I recommend that if you are interested in anything like this, you go out and buy one of these suits right now. What if they're not fashionable 4 years from now and you do have to make a hole in the bathing suit, and that's going to be difficult because of the fact that you're going to need a stitch and sew machine. Mine is just a hobby machine, so that would be really hard for me. This machine is already done up properly, and I don't have to worry about that. The last thing I want to show you is the dress and outfit that I wore to my 50-year high school reunion, which took place a couple of months ago. I bought this dress online, and I specifically saw it and chose it because it did seem to have all of this cross fabric here, and I was able to put my zipper underneath right there where it's convenient for the opening. I put my zipper in the back of the purse, same as always. In this particular outfit, I am wearing somewhat of a plunging neckline. I have a piece of jewelry strategically placed that covers up my surgical scar, and I am good to go. And so I just wanted to point out that it's possible to feel glamorous even as an LVAD patient. All right, there's only two last things that I want to mention that might be pertinent. One of them is your discussion with your surgeon prior to surgery. Hopefully you do have this option. You're seeing this video prior to surgery. The surgeon will ask you if you have any questions. Since you haven't been through the surgery, of course you can think of some questions, but maybe not all of them. One of the things that I found interesting is where precisely is the location of the exit of the drive line. My surgeon told me it would be near my belly button. Actually, it's clear over here on the right, and my belly button's clear in the middle. So I suppose, comparatively speaking, that is near my belly button. But you know, I am right-handed, and for the majority of my life, I have carried my purse on my left-hand side versus my right-hand side. And I did ask my doctors if it's possible to have the drive line come out on the left-hand side, and they said, yes, it's not as common. It most often comes out the right side. So be sure to pose this question to your surgeon after you consider carefully what side would be best, because perhaps you would like it on the left side over the right side. You know, when you're working and doing housework with your right side, if you have your purse right here, sometimes that can get awkward. And maybe you would like it on the left side. Maybe it would still be okay. You can reach behind and have your hand here holding your purse, and you're still working with your right hand. So, you know, I'm going to have no problem with this, but still, I wish I had known to ask that question. And the last thing that I might mention is that I have started wearing a camisole top every day. And that's because I do have this exit drive line here in my belly, and it is covered with a nice big huge bandage. But I also have butterfly bandages and the cord and I don't know what all. The camisole just has a tendency to just smooth everything down, especially under garments that are a little thinner in summer garments. And I find that they feel really comfortable. My husband, when he first brought me home, bought all sorts of t-shirts to wear underneath. But the t-shirts cover your arms. And I find that I really like the camisoles better when you have your arms free or arms uncovered underneath your garments. That's really all I have for you. I wish you well with your surgery, and God bless.